right delicious while I'm whipping in that kitchen. I got a
Nice.
rap for you.
I
I
got
got a rap for your ass.
I heard that, man. I guess y'all can hear that voice in the background, man. That's the homegirl. Yo, we gonna start the show off a little bit different today, hey, because I'm tired of doing all the same thing, man. You know this is our 8th year, dog.
I don't know shit. I just get on.
Today is our 8th year, man. And with that being said, we got a special guest, man, in the house, man. Not only hip hop legend, people always call people legends. I'm tired of people getting called legends who haven't done nothing to deserve that title, but we got a true legend here today. And she's also the host of Aspire TV's Downright Delicious with Yo Yo. We got the queen of the West Coast in the house. Yo Yo, what's happening?
What's up, family? Let's go.
That's
Let's
right.
go.
What's good with you? So, Yo Yo, I got to ask you first and foremost, when I saw you had a cooking show, I said, Yo Yo can cook. So, did you
Downright
really get busy?
delicious. Yes, I can't believe I haven't ate no food. I mean,
Yeah,
so many
it's
people have ate
back.
my cooking. I've been cooking on the road. No ate. You got to get some of that. You know, I'm good in dominoes. I'm good in cooking. I'm good in spades. I'm good in mothering. I'm good in whatever. I'm good at everything I do. Everything I touch from now on going to be funky.
That's right.
I heard the hell out of that, man. And you talk about you can play dominoes, you can slap bones, you know how to slap bones, you know how to play spades?
I will whoop your ass
You
Well, we
know,
gonna have to
and
see
talk
next time
mess.
we gonna do it in person.
and that's another good
I would
point.
love to.
That's
It would
another
be,
good
I would
point.
love to.
That's another good point you made. You good at mothering because I always see you with the kids. You interact with your kids a lot. Especially with your daughters. You always tick-tocking or dance stepping or something involved with the kids. So that's another good point. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody is good at mothering. You feel me? You get me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
And
the most
I take
important job
pride in
it
that.
is.
Are you in?
Yeah, I take pride in that. My kids have helped me become the woman that I am today. They keep me young. They keep me with this influence game, up on game. And I finally got to the point where they know who I am. They respect what I've done in the music industry, what I do in our lives, and that makes me my pursuit towards my future goals better for me.
You like when they get to the point where they respect who you were in your past life, all the contributions you've done. I had to go through that with my son.
Yeah,
He didn't understand, acknowledgement people would give you, or when people would praise you for what you've done. He thought that was very weird for
yeah.
a while growing up, but now you see him. He got me posted on his page, and I'm his picture, and he sends me stuff. He collects records now, and so he's sending me records. Oh, Dad, look what I bought at the store today, and so he loves it. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, and that is a blessing, and I want to commend you too. I like the work that you do with your family as well. It's not easy trying to do it all and still pivot in our lives since we've been doing this since we were young. I call us young industry babies,
Oh,
and people don't, we don't really get that, but we were just kids.
yeah, definitely. It was hard in the beginning because, like you said, we was kids
Yeah,
self, and myself, I was a young father, so trying to make that work with being growing up myself, because how it was in the city, around 8
yeah,
18, 19 years old, trying to be
yeah,
trying to be a parent in those times, in those days for us, and not just because of the streets, but because of we was trying to get our careers cracking, and in them days, man,
amen.
you were
That's right.
in them days, we was on the road like constantly, doing shit. So
Yeah,
I'm glad for the maturity though today. That we are
yeah,
able to we're able to look back, and they're able to look back and see what we had to go through, the struggles, and just being able to be, the person that we are today. It's a good feeling.
yeah. Get us where we are. That's right.
Yo, yo, with all that being said, right now, you a mother, you're doing different things, You being a former hip hop artist, did you have a hard time at first with people being able to see who you actually are right now? Did you have a problem with people trying to keep you pigeonholed in the past?
I don't think it was people. It was me just. It was me in my recreating stages, in my transitioning state. I like to say I'd always go back to what I was comfortable in, but the times had changed so drastically. I mean, it was out with Yo-Yo, it was Little Kim, it was Foxy Brown, and here I was, the intelligent black women, and they was talking about Coca-Cola bottles and all of this, and at the same time, me trying to get the industry to respect my dope femininity. Because I'm from the West Coast. West Coast had a certain style. Ice Cube had a certain vision that he wanted for the lynch mob and street knowledge, and I was a part of that team. So it was me trying to really show that I was a woman because there were so many women. Well, there were many, not too many, but women who liked men, I mean, like men. And there were women who liked women, and the way I was dressed, they didn't know. So my focus was I'm a woman. I need to let people know I'm a woman. No disrespect to anybody out there, but that was part of my journey. I was part of
Yeah,
my push. I want people to know I'm a woman in hip hop, and I'll still murder your ass on a track. I'll still battle you in the streets. I still think I'm the dopest. You know what I mean? I was competitive, still is to this day.
that's dope. And the one thing I will say about you is that we did have the Lil Kims and the Foxy Browns. You handled yourself like a queen. You always had the utmost respect for yourself. You represented. And I think
Yeah.
that our young women needed to see more images like that because these rappers are influential.
Yeah. And we didn't know that before. I don't know about you, Eight, but they would say, do you consider yourself a role model? And me, I was just following along Ice Cube and them. They were already, public enemy. I was listening to what they said. Well, we don't, but when I got out there, I'm like, I am a role model. People are reciting, but it was new for me. So I had to learn that I had a responsibility. Even though I had a responsibility before, I really had one because I'm like, Dad, we can do so much. And I already had the intelligent black women mind concept in my head that I was pushing. So it was more so like, wow, we really are. So instantly, not long, 3 years, 4 years in the game, or my second third album, I was ready to change. I was ready to give some more, which was outside of what Ice Cube wanted. But yeah, I mean, I think, you don't realize it. I think my longevity came because I didn't really sell my soul. I can go in any room, and those women can too now. I mean, it don't matter what you do. Women are still making moves. Um, what
Without a
you
doubt.
did then is not what you have to be today. So people are still getting in it and learning for themselves that the kids are watching. We are role models, hip hop artists, women. No matter what game you in, them kids are looking up to you. So, and our community need it the most. And we hold on to our black superstars.
Yeah, without a doubt. Now let me ask you this. Today is real off the hook. You got a lot of real ratchet music out here. Like, what's the one girl we always laugh about? I can't remember her name
It's
right now. I'm
it's
catching
it's
out.
so many, so we try not to,
It's so many. What's the one girl that talk about she need her cootie scratched and all that stuff? What's the girl's name?
It's sometimes I hear that stuff. I hear certain lyrics, and I just shake my head because that's just entertainment. That's not hip hop. And they fit in a different category. Um, and sometimes I think it's just a mockery. I mean, some people are comedians becoming artists, and some people are just ratchet and making a lifestyle. And because people are creating so many artists that never had the passion ever in their life, but they have looks, they got the ass, you know what I mean? It's just something about them that makes somebody want to put them up on highlight them, and then they put the music behind it. They got somebody writing their rhymes. They never wrote before. They never performed before. So you're getting a
Facts.
lot of that. You're getting a lot of strippers that's just becoming rappers because they got banging bodies.
Big facts. That's what I was gonna say. Her name is Sexy Red, and that's what I was gonna say. Most of these records come from a man's perspective. You could tell it's a man back there writing and telling what to do. But I always wonder, like, what's gonna happen 15 years from now when she a mother and her son is going to school and everything is on the phone now. Everything is on this right now. It's not like back in the day where you could have did something and kind of got away with it a little bit. Now everything is gonna be dug up. So her son's at school with his friends, and he like, man, look at what your mama was doing.
You know what? And but when we talk about longevity, like it's always those ones that come into the game. Um, and I've seen some change their mind because once you really see the influence and you get somebody that helped you change your mind or see a bigger picture for yourself, it is easy to switch over. And maybe that stuff can be eliminated. You just tell your kids, hey, listen, that was my past. But to have longevity in this industry and to be able to pivot to a cooking show, you have to have some kind of it's got to be outside of you. I think working with the kids helped me. You know, my Yo-Yo School of Hip Hop, the IBWC, me doing my political work as an activist helped me kind of keep my head on straight. The leadership, the wise people I had around me, and my mother, Mama Mia. Mama don't take no mess. That big old LA gangster, she wasn't having that from her girls. You know what I mean? We have to get up. I mean, I remember, my mom would pop me in my face if I told the teacher don't lie. All that teacher lie. Nowadays, you got parents in schools arguing with the teachers. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? My mother made us respect every room we went into, and that's the difference. And so I think that that's helped me be able to have longevity in my career. I can go into any room and people respect who I am. And and that's just tributes to my mother and the people I've had around me and the work that I put in.
Yeah, you for sure putting in some hell of a work. I want to ask you something. You come from hip hop. Did you develop the cooking show on your own?
I didn't develop the cooking show on my own. I came through Powerhouse Productions, which is a female team with an all black production. And
That's dope.
I've worked with Rochelle and Sonia, and well, I've worked with Rochelle in the past. My daughter, while I was on tour with Eric B. and Rakim for their Don't Sweat the Technique tour, my daughter was in New Jersey. Rochelle had a restaurant there, and I would throw my daughter's parties there. So that was our introduction. And then I would have their restaurant take Thanksgiving dinner to her father and, bring food over because he was helping me raise my daughter while I was on tour. And that became the relationship. And when the pandemic hit, she saw that I love to cook. I'm always cooking. And one day she gave me a call. She said, you really cook? Like you cook? And I'm like, yeah. She was like, I see you. Like, can you send me some images? And I always been watching cooking shows, Cooking on the Road for Short, Cube, Lynch Mob, Digital Underground, Public Enemy, all on the road. I would cook on my tour bus and make food, but I only had specific dishes, that I would make. My catalog wasn't that big when it came to recipes. But as I just that those 2 years, I'm just cooking in the kitchen. My catalog grew when it came to recipes. I was able to showcase them on social media because I was sitting still. And lo and behold, um, Rochelle and I got together. I didn't know that Rochelle was producing all of these cooking shows. I didn't realize that she
That's
was
dope.
Rochelle Brown from Powerhouse Production. I only knew her from where she was. And shortly after, we started putting together pieces. And she said, I think I might have something with me. Give me some time. And because of my patience, me still loving to cook, 2 years, 3 years, I think, passed. And she came to me and said, I have something for you.
That's really dope, man. And was able to rise to the
And I was
occasion.
ready. I was ready. What'd he say? If you stay ready,
Hey, hey.
you
You
ain't
ain't got
got
to
to
be
get ready.
So it
I
was
was
it
Yeah,
was
for
ready
it was
sure.
for it.
already something you love. So the transition from going, making that transition, because like you said, it's kind of hard at first when you're trying to find your way, coming from our era of hip hop and what we're used to, and the new age of digital and downloads, and so
Yeah,
we get stuck a little bit. Um, Trying to find
yeah,
that way, transitioning over into something that's, first of all, something that you love to do. You know what I'm saying? So, uh,
yeah,
it was hard at first, but when it's something that you love and it's something that you already can put your heart into, because like you said,
yeah.
you every
You know what?
yes, ma'am.
I had been on this spiritual journey when I was in transition in my life. I had just went on this spiritual journey with God. I went back to school at 30. Moved to Jersey, worked on my associate's degree in liberal arts. I went to acting school in New York, at Lee Strasberg, so that I could get some, because we was getting small roles. I did some work on myself. I did dance classes, uh, hip hop, jazz at in New York at I forget the name of this famous company. Me and my daughter Tiffany, I did a lot of work on myself. Because I didn't know where to turn. I sold my house. Well, I rented my house out at that time to Waylon Jennings' son, Shooter, who is a famous country singer right now. But I rented my house out and went to New York, New Jersey, just to just see what I was missing because I've been yo-yo so young. But that kind of and then I started working, just praying to God and saying, maybe I just need to get grounded. You know what I mean? And be by myself for a minute. That grounding and that work I put in because of my obedience, God said he was going to give me the desires of my heart. And this is just me in a relationship. This is separate myself from everybody. And I'm telling you, that was a hard period because people wanted to still pull me back. You can rap. Why you not doing it? And for a while, I used to say, I'm working on something. I'm working on something. Really, I wasn't. I was working on myself because I felt like Yo-Yo was shadowing Yolanda. It was like I couldn't find myself again. And I felt like I was just going back to whatever I could and grabbing whatever I could. And really, it was like quicksand. It was just, I needed it. I needed. But as soon as I just started trusting God and having faith in God and doing the work, God woke me up one morning and said, because of your obedience, I'm going to give you the desires of your heart. Nobody knew I loved to cook but God. And for me to get that cooking show, I'm telling you, I just thank God all the time. I give him all the praise for only he knew. And the people who'd been to my house who always come and say, make this, chef from Wu-Tang and been to my house after hours. We didn't cook together after the after party. And, they came to the house and cooked and all that good stuff. But nobody really knew outside of my core group. Only God knew. And only God could take me out of a situation and set me into a different space.
Hey, man, you know what you just said is something real pivotal. I'm glad you landed on that. It seems like everybody is scared nowadays to talk about God, right? I'm telling you, God has moved in my life incredibly. I came out here to California with $50 in my pocket when I was 18 years old,
Come on.
and I just had faith. I just had faith. I
That's
said, I'm
right.
going out to California and I'm, doing that. I'm telling you, God guides our every steps. And when God is for you, can't nothing be against you.
And that's right. And once I stopped chasing money, I was chasing that money worry, but God showed me that, with nothing, I still had everything and that I had to show up. I used to think I'm not prepared. I don't have this. I don't have what other people have. I'm not ready. People want to see me. But once I got over my fears, became courageous in my journey and in my alignment and was confident. It's just like the people started helping me and the hardest part was my past. I had middlemen my whole life. I was the middleman in my own business my whole life. So I had everybody representing me. And when it got time for me to come represent myself, I had nobody because I'm like, I had to call somebody else to get to somebody else. I had to call three people to get one number. You know what I mean? So now with me doing the work, with me standing, being still and being okay with where I was, and remember, I was moving in faith, it allowed me to rebuild myself, realign myself. God said, if I give you this blessing, you can't give it to nobody. You got to walk in it. So that means I had to get Yo-Yo out of my life and go back to being humble, Yolanda, the person that God created, and represent myself. I had to pick up that phone and say, hey, what's up? This is Yo-Yo. This is Yolanda. You know Yo-Yo from and that itself was a whole journey within itself, but it gave me relationships. It reintroduced me. I don't have to call nobody. And I tell people now, you have my number. This phone is a business phone. This ain't no chatting box. This ain't no hotline. That's a business line. You can call me. You can call me. I handle my business.
That's right.
And
And
that's
that's
dope.
got me to where I am. I got myself through Rochelle. My Disney show from Saturdays, I played the role of Duchess on Disney. This, you know, my relationships has somebody, because people gatekeep in this industry.
Definitely.
They
For
gatekeep.
sure.
Yeah, so when I was able to handle my own business, I was able to make my own deals, and that started elevating me. That started elevating me, showing up, showing up. And people said, you know what, I got something else for you. And surely but surely, clothes just start to look. People started wanting to help me, wanting to come into my life because I was keeping everybody else out, and you don't have to go through my sister to get to me. You don't have to go through my business manager. My business manager worked for me, but before we were trained at a young age that everybody had to go through somebody to reach the artist. So I had to break that chain.
Without a doubt. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, that's the biggest problem right now. Me and Eight talk about it a lot. When you have people interceding on your behalf with business, a lot of times those people are not good people. And they taking advantage the whole time. So I got plenty of homeboys who don't have 15, 16, 20-year careers, and they look up one day and be like, man, I don't have no money, but I made all this money, and somebody else is sending their kids to college off your earnings. And it's just a theme that's all too common. So I encourage everybody, man, handle some of your own business. Ain't nothing wrong with having a manager or a team,
That's
but make
right.
sure
That's
you in the
right.
mix everything. Make sure
That's
you in the
right.
mix. Make sure you involved.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. You can't hand your baby to anybody. You got to treat it like it's an infant, a real infant. You can't hand your baby to anybody. You ain't gonna let just anybody babysit your baby. Anybody handle your baby. I'll take her to the doctor. I'll take him to the doctor. You got to step in. You got to step in your own business. And I learned that. And that has been such a successful tool in my career because people get to know me, not yo-yo. People, before I used to get, whenever I meet somebody, they say, oh, you don't have a gat in your purse. But now, since I've allowed the world to see me as Yolanda Whitaker, now Dr. Yolanda Whitaker, the world they know who I am. My respect has changed. Although they respect where I came from, they respect my hip hop journey and and who put me on and all of the things that I've done. But now they know me as a human. And then, radio helped with that too. Me being on the radio here in Los Angeles allowed people to get to know me. And that was through my journey of showing up for myself, making them phone calls, not being afraid to reach out to people. Hey, this Yo-Yo, what's up? Like Yo-Yo, the rapper? Look, yeah.
That's dope.
And that was bold for me. That was bold for me because, I wanted to fit this certain stereotype that wasn't successful for my career.
But they need not get it twisted because Dr. Yolanda Whitaker still got the gat in her purse. So don't get it twisted, y'all. If need be.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I'm trying to get a permit to carry.
She still, so don't never get it twisted because,
Trying to get a permit to carry, baby, in
Yeah.
South Carolina, where me and my fiance live. He open. That's an open carry state.
well, yeah, but you know what? The South, I'm about to move down to Texas, and
How was
I
that?
believe in
How's
the
the
Second Amendment. I'm
transition?
moving down there, and I can't wait.
How's the transition from leaving, your foundation and your roots and going to relocate? Was that easy for you?
Well, I'm bi-coastal. I'm in California now. I'm an empty nester at home. My 22-year-old just got her first apartment. My 30-year-old is in her own place, been in her own place. She's married with a kid. And so I think it's beautiful. I love Myrtle Beach. It's a beautiful place. It's my getaway. But I love California. I mean, California is the only place I'm gonna get my discounts. It's the only place I'm gonna go to and call a man to do some extra stuff for me. Like, call so and so down over there and hook you
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
but and other than that, yeah, it's like so South Carolina, Myrtle Beach is really like my retirement place. The home is beautiful. I feel like I don't have to do anything. I have a team player on my team, a man that's not competing with me, but want to see me win and want to see me shine and live up to my full potential. Who don't get in my way, which is beautiful. And my kids, like I said, they know their mother got their back. They want to see me happy. They want to see me win. They in the kitchen cooking. They on camera. And before there was a time they wouldn't even let me put them on social media. So it's just everybody's happy. Like I said, my mother, who has been holding me down since I was in junior high and high school and all my talent shows, she's able to come in the kitchen, and I really felt like I left my mother out, of my journey because I was moving so much. But to have her in the kitchen, that I told you she a gangster in the kitchen. That's downright delicious with Mama Mia.
Oh,
Well,
for sure.
we all,
For sure, for sure.
I've known you for such a long time. And so,
Whole lot.
yes, indeed. So you always got moms is always there in support. So that's one hell of a thing, because
Yeah.
this is a rough journey. This is rough journey. You get me? And in the beginning, parents might have not been as confident in this hip hop thing that we were venturing into. But I can say that your mom's has always been someone who has supported your career and whatever it is and the trans
Yes.
what you do. Yeah, I mean, I see you when you have your little parties and your girlfriends come through and y'all be hanging. Moms is always there, whether you at shows or functions and shit. Y'all be getting down. Like, man, I'm like, I got to go get me a plate one day from Yo Yo.
I know. Hey, you definitely have to come over. Wait, and my daughter Tiffany, she told me, um, she said, Mom, she said, when you get on with 8, can you tell him, can you say, uh, ain't no bitches in here. And then she said, and then you gotta tell him. And then you gotta tell him. And they said, ain't no bitches in here. I'll break on your ass. She said, but only when you pay attention to 8 and you're not watching the party, can you hear him say, well, break then. When I say I'll break on your ass, you say, well, break then. So she said, make sure you tell him that for me. And I just love that my oldest daughter, Tiffany, was so excited to know that you and I were doing this interview. And she was so happy. And I was so happy to do this interview because I've been really wanting to be with my brothers in hip hop. I know I go a lot of places and I do a lot of things, but to have you support the cooking show, to have me on your show to talk about Downright Delicious with Yo Yo, really, really, honest to God, it bring tears to my eyes, touch my heart because, I love my brothers in hip hop. Oh God, here I go. I love my brothers in hip hop. And sometimes I be wanting that support. I want you to come over and eat. I want you to taste my cooking, because I love my brothers. You're literally like my brother in hip hop because we did grow up
Oh,
together.
yes.
So it just warms my heart to have that support and that love and to welcome me on your platform, really feels good to me. I know I'm all emotional because, like I said, you're my brother, and to lose Mike and, your whole team is part of my family.
Yeah, Rich loved you to death. My boy Rich, he loves.
That's why I didn't even want to say his name.
Yeah, Rich loved.
I know. You see my teary eyes. I didn't even want to say his name, and I know Rich would be happy,
Man,
you know,
yeah, definitely. Something like this,
to pieces,
yeah, something like this,
to
he would be
pieces.
just like, man, that's great, man. You finna the yo, man, that's great, man. That's good. And then he'll start up with his stories, man. I remember when I drove from here and I drove from there, and she was in this, man. He just loved when you was on the radio and just like, I mean, you was somebody that I can say that he truly loved as a friend. And that was,
Yeah,
what I'm saying? He never wanted nothing.
yeah.
He never wanted nothing. Just to be considered your friend was rich. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Listen,
it's
and was my dear friend.
yeah, yeah,
That broke my heart.
yeah, definitely.
That broke my heart because and like you said, would do anything,
Yeah,
love
yeah.
me to pieces with no strings attached. Whatever you need, yo.
Oh
No,
yeah.
I don't mind. Whatever. No, I got you.
Yeah, that was rich.
And had me. And had me.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, indeed.
You know what? Now that we talk about that, right? It's very important to not take time for granted.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people, and that's my biggest message to my kids is like, don't waste time. And I tell my team that I say, we could do anything y'all want to. Y'all want to shoot movies, y'all want to develop more podcasts, we can do that, but just don't waste time. It's so precious because
Yeah.
all the time that we got now, man, is real special.
Yeah.
So I try to really like just handle my time like it's my most precious asset. It's, you know, because you can lose money, you can recoup money. You know, I done lost a whole bunch of money and got it back, right? But you
Mm-hmm.
can't get time back once it's gone. So it's important to just, you know, move the right way. And
Yeah. Hey, do you guys cook? Do you guys cook? Any of you cook?
oh man, I'm probably one of the best cooks on the planet, man.
Shut
I'm
your
really
face.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you cook?
I'm
What's
really,
your
really
favorite?
good. I'm really good. I make a bomb pork roast. I hook a steak up for real, for real. Any kind of steak. You got to remember, I can hook anything up. I'm from the east side of Cleveland, right? So I grew up, you know, we didn't have everything. So I know how to make anything into just a feast.
Wow, I love that. I love that. Okay, we gotta cook together.
Yeah, y'all ready.
But yeah, for sure,
Definitely.
for sure. And I think they get out a little bit.
I eat.
I see A cooking. A, what you cooking?
I cook some shit like your grandma used to make. I'm not no healthy person right now, so we're gonna be some. It's gonna be.
That's okay. Me either. I like pork chops and bacon and eggs. What are
Yeah,
you talking about?
yeah, we still on that type of shit right now. So, but the kids don't complain. You get me. My son, every time he come
Right.
from college, he always, man, can you make this? Can you make that? Can you make this? And he don't complain. So I'm doing something right. You feel me?
Okay. Well, let's do this. We're gonna cook together
I'm with that. Yeah, that's
on the
Man,
show.
yeah.
On the show and in the kitchen. On the show and in the kitchen.
I'm
for
with that.
sure, for
We
sure. You
definitely.
know what?
Both of y'all on the show and in the kitchen. Let's cook together.
I'm
Let's
with it.
bring Compton and Cleveland in Yo-Yo's kitchen.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm with it. I'm with it for sure. Cause I'm gonna tell you like this. You know, when you grew up in the hood, your mama go to work. My mom's went to work, step pops was at work. So it was like when I came home from football practice, it was like, cook this for your brothers. I don't left this out. You know, she had some pork chops that was thawed out in the refrigerator. And I had to cook, man. I've been cooking since I was probably like 9 years old.
Yeah, yeah. The mamas don't make the kids. Remember, we used to have to shave the scales off of the fish. Mama put that
Yeah.
fish in the sink. We'd have to go take all the shells off with the spoon, clean the fish. They don't even clean the fish anymore. Now you go and your fish is all cut up for you,
yeah.
unless you go
Definitely
to
Yeah.
a international
do
market,
that.
food market.
How you
You
in your
asking
mother-
for a whole fish.
Mom's how you.
Yeah, we used to pop the peas.
Yeah,
We used
yeah,
to take the
yeah.
the, the stem off the collard greens.
Yeah.
Mom's how you in the
Well, you
living
know what it
room with
is,
that
yo,
knife,
nowadays?
snapping them peas,
Right,
snapping them beans. Man,
right.
What I think it is nowadays too, I think kids is entitled and spoiled a little bit, right? They didn't have
Yeah,
like the struggle ain't there no more. Cause I look at my kids, it's like a buffet when they little. If we cook something, oh, I don't want that, I want spaghetti, and you get one saying they want chicken. And my wife would be down there cooking all that. In my mama's house, it was whatever she made, that's what dinner was, or you go starve.
that's right. That's right. That's
And
right.
I cut all that catering out. I said, no, whatever is made, that's what y'all gonna eat. All this
My
going to
house
go cook
too.
different meals, we not doing all that.
My house too. I make the dinner. I make one pot. I make one meal for dinner. I make one meal for breakfast.
And if you don't want it, you can starve.
Yeah, and now that we're empty nesters, I do make my baby whatever he wants.
But yeah, well, you know what? That's how it is. Once your kids leave, because the time goes so fast, and oh shoot, my daughter's in the house though. My daughter can't go nowhere though until she meet the right dude. Until she get married to some dude that asks for her hand, because there ain't gonna be no living. No, nah, we not live. Ain't
No,
gonna be no
that's
living
right.
together. Ain't gonna be none of that. You got to come correct. You got to have a ring and a plan. And when y'all get married, then y'all can move in together. Until
That's
then,
right.
she'll be in my house with me.
That's right.
You know what I'm
That's right.
saying? So this is. I want to make sure I got it right. This the second season of the show, right?
Yep. Second is I think we're moving into the third season, if I'm not mistaken. Third season.
Well, congratulations. That's big.
Yeah. Yeah.
so so is this
That's real
you
big.
or are you
Yeah.
doing?
And we're in the top three. Our show is in the top three. Um, we got some statistics back from the president, CEO of Aspire, and they said since our show started, we have help the percentage go up from 35 to 45%. I get clock it. So, I mean, it really is good. And as you know, this is the first time I get to see myself as Yolanda Whitaker in the kitchen. It's not yo-yo. Of course, my personality, I'm always me. So I got a rap in me. I got music in my head when no music is playing. The music, the food make me dance. So you're going to get me. I'm a mixologist, so I'm making cocktails. I talk shit, so I'm playing dominoes. And my guest is getting a real interview from me. And I'm making some delicious, quick, budget friendly, some vegan, plant-based dishes. I'm inviting some of my homeboys, homegirls, industry friends, actors, family members, kids in the kitchen, and you just getting it wrong. I mean, it's almost like you watching the show, but you watching me in the kitchen in my home, as if you were like the same comfortable space we're in right now. That's how it is in the kitchen while we cooking, and we just doing it like you say, yo, like to have this. And it's okay. Well, you want to add something, chop this up. So it's just really a lot of fun. The dishes are good. They're outside of the Southern style that I'm used to. My mother only made specific dishes, Thanksgiving kind of food. She'll make some salmon croquettes and all this other different stuff. Um, but because I've traveled for the last 35 years, of course, I done been to some of the most fabulous places. And what do I do when I get there? I'm asking them, and what did they put in this? And what kind of stuff is that? And we didn't grow up eating arugula and making our sandwiches with arugula. We use regular lettuce. So so it just enticed the dishes. And I'm talking to my people when I'm cooking. Aspire TV is a network where you can see yourself. So I'm really talking to my audience. And so they get it because we really want to cook. We want to make good dishes. We don't want to have to go out and pay $17 for a sandwich we can make ourselves. And the only difference is they're using a different type of lettuce or a different type of cheese. You know what I mean? We had 3 or 4 cheeses we know about in the stores, but there's so many cheeses out there. And that's what the show does. It introduces our audience to, just a brighter horizon. And I didn't already did the homework. I did the legwork. I went out there and tried all this shit already. I
You know
didn't
what?
made it.
So is this so
And I'm gonna tell you,
is your next you think you're gonna transition, try to open a restaurant?
No, I don't want to do a restaurant. A restaurant is hard to have. We have a comedy store restaurant in Virginia, and that's a hard business to run. I like the chefs to do the work. Like I said, I'm not a chef. I just love to cook. The fact that I get to do the work, on television, bring you into my home and cook. I think that's the blessing. That's the blessing. I don't have to slave. My mother might want a food truck that she can, when she get ready to pull up and make her cabbage burgers and do what she do. And then I pop up every now and then, but I don't want the responsibility. I'm
yeah, it's a
54.
lot
I've
of
been doing it a
responsibility.
long time. I get the money. I do the show. I definitely want to do some merchandise. And I like pop-up shops. I want to go and, do some stuff like that. But to be dedicated to it and start a restaurant, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I had I actually got a brother that had a restaurant. He said it's a lot of theft too. He said you got to be there 24/7. The people will rob you blind.
It's another baby. And you can't give your baby to everybody. You just can't hand that restaurant over, you know. And I want to get to the place where I can really, I'm trying to be debt free. And so I'm really just trying to just get ready to live, and not really hustle so much. I'm a hard worker. I'm on the radio. I have the cooking show. I do the Yo-Yo School of Hip Hop. I travel to 18 cities a year. I do scholarships. I do seminars. So I have so much stuff going on, um, that I'm ready. I'm ready for that. Just to pop in and pop out.
I
Pop
heard
in
that.
show. No,
So you still do radio?
I still do radio. I'm in my 10th year of radio
That's
with
dope, man.
Cafe Mocha Radio.
That is dope. That is real dope. You know what? Me and Eight had a radio show, and it was in like a bunch of secondary markets. It was maybe like in 9 markets. and we was #1, and we had that fool Chill DJ mix for us one night. This fool Chill didn't take none of the curse words out. He on there mixing Freaky Tales and
Yeah.
everything else. The owner of the station called me and said, "Man, what is y'all doing? I'm listening now. There's people on here cussing." Man, we had so many fines for that. He said, "Man," I said, "So," I said, my apologies." He said, "That's okay, because y'all fired. Y'all can't do the show no more." Chill messed our show up, eh? But yeah, they was on there cussing and everything else. I said, "Oh my God."
Yeah, the industry definitely has changed. I love it. We do syndicated radio, channel 141. We're in 42 markets. We won our 5th Gracie Award. It's me, Emmy Award winning Lonnie Love, and Angelique, our producer. So yeah, we've been on for, yeah.
That is real, real dope, man, right there, man. I'm proud of you because you really like, I'm going to tell all y'all aspiring young ladies that rap out there, this is the model of who y'all want to model y'all career after, because she never did nothing embarrassing. Like, you never embarrassed yourself.
Thank
You
you.
never did nothing. And you was, everybody liked
I
Yo Yo. You
wasn't,
feel what I'm
I
saying?
wasn't
Everybody
gonna
thought
Yeah.
say
Yo Yo was fine and, still, no disrespect to your husband, but
Yes.
everybody liked Yo Yo, but it was a classiness about you. It was the way you carried yourself.
Yeah.
And you able,
Thank
and
you.
that's why, and you're able to transition now because you don't have nothing to be ashamed of in your past.
exactly.
That's right. And that's right. And that's right. Cheer. Cheer. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You all,
You don't have nothing to be
you
ashamed of. And,
said
and
we've
this is
always
not me
respected
dissing none of
your
these other
wife.
young ladies. I'm glad these sisters getting their money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm glad these sisters getting their money because hip hop is a hard game, man. So let's tell the people what time and what day does the show come on for all the people out there that don't know.
All right. So it's downright delicious. I be whipping in that kitchen. Every dish that I be making be what? Finger licking, whether it's lobster rolls or steak, salmon cakes or penny pasta. Who got you? My kitchen's hotter. I'm Mama Mia's daughter. And I did not come to play because I'm in my happy place. Downright delicious with Yo-Yo is on Aspire TV
Hey,
every Thursday. Tonight is Thursday. Downright delicious. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. If you missed Downright Delicious, you can catch us on Aspire TV Plus, and we're also on Amazon Prime. Talk to me
that's dope.
nice.
That's very, very dope, man. Just the whole fact is TV is a whole nother level. And I don't think people realize how much work TV is.
Yeah. Oh, listen. And when you're doing 3 shows a day,
Mm.
3 shows a day. But let me tell you, it's that discipline. It's that discipline. I wanted it so bad. And every time it's time to go back in there, I feel like, okay. And it's something that I constantly work at. We're not filming right now, but I'm constantly cooking. I'm always, they say, I'm making cakes. Nobody wanted to give me my grandma's recipe in the
They was hating.
family. I found another pound cake recipe, probably better than my grandmama's, but I'm still gonna call it Emma's pound cakes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know why family members be hating on them recipes.
Don't they hate on recipes?
Yeah, they be hating on them recipes, trying to hold everything for themselves, and they be making it wrong half the time.
Listen,
And they
I'm
make
not hating. I'm not hating on Aspire TV, so you got to check it out. And I want you to try one of my dishes. I want you to try one of the dishes.
Yeah,
You cook,
too.
try one of
for
them.
sure.
You'll like
Oh,
it.
for
Yeah, just
sure.
write down the recipe and try it.
For sure. I'm definitely go tap in with it and get it done. Cause I'm gonna tell you, my daughter probably cook better than I do now. She's became the queen. She's became the queen of the spoon right now, man. My daughter gets busy.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
She get busy and she finally make mac and cheese better than I do because that was one of my specialties. Now I don't get the request. They always say, let Jasmine make the macaroni and
Oh,
cheese.
wow. See? See?
Yeah.
That's what cooking do. That's what consistency does. What you say? What you
Mhm.
say, Hey?
Yes, indeed. Consistency make it happen and shit. So shit. Fuck it. That's why I tell Karan and what he do. Consistency
Yeah.
will always make it better. It don't matter. Just keep trying,
Yeah.
keep doing it. Next thing you know, you're gonna be able to overcome. Motherfuckers gonna be requesting you shit,
Yeah.
anything. They tell you sit your ass down, still.
That's right.
Hell yeah. Hey, gladly, because I can just sit back and bring me a glass of lemonade and chill and watch her cook. And she tell me to get out the kitchen all the time. She say, here you come, give me your input that ain't needed. Cause I always tell her, "You need to turn that up a little bit more. You need to put some more of that in there." And she said, "There you go, adding salt to stuff. You ain't even tasted it to see if I don't put salt in there already." You know,
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that, it's a great thing, man, about food because food is all about bringing family together.
Yes.
You know, it's all about celebration, especially from the communities that we come from, Thanksgiving, Christmas. It's all about the food. Even if you didn't have a lot under that tree, it was always a meal. It was always about the meal and the
That's
fellowship with
right.
your family. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
And
Yep,
the
my
fellowship
20
with your
my
family.
22-year-old, she's cooking now. Now that she's in her new place, she's sending me all of her dishes. She said, "How do I make chili dogs? What kind of chili do I get?" You know, she's making this. I'm making tacos. I'm making a street corn. She's sending me all the videos. I'm gonna make a little video. I've been saving them and putting them on. She's only moved in since January the 2nd. I'm saving all her videos. I'm gonna make her a little reel for my Instagram because she never cooked at home. I mean, she would make small dishes, she would make breakfast, but now she's actually cooking and calling
She
for the
didn't have to. She
recipes.
has you doing it for her. She didn't have to. She has you hooking it up for her.
And I love doing it. I love cooking for them. But now I'm glad they out. I'm not one of them parents that say, "Oh, I want my baby in the house." No, go.
Are you glad they
It's
gone? Man, you know what? My
Yeah.
wife
good when they come
my
for a
wife
visit.
popped all
That's
that
it.
same
Just
stuff
a
again when
visit.
they left. She was crying.
Just a visit. It's good when they come for a visit,
Listen,
listen, then they going
listen.
back. Yeah.
I right. I can put my towels back out. I don't have to buy the cheap paper towels. I can use the good paper towels. I can.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's Quran.
Yeah, our
But
kids do the most,
yeah,
man.
when they wasn't buying, they didn't care. So now they got their own place. They can do it, and I can go back to being like I was before I had kids.
Right.
Yeah,
Mine
for
come
real.
home from
I wanted to ask you.
so I just gotta go through that for a spell when he come home from college. The food bill gonna raise
Right.
up a little bit. The light bill gonna raise a little bit, and then I'll be like, okay, nigga, when are you going back to school? You feel me? So yeah, get on, get on back to school.
Yeah, for real. For
That's
real. Because the
right.
damn
That's
thing.
right. That's right. My bill's gonna be low next month.
Yeah.
So I think I mentioned earlier. I mentioned earlier I'm moving down to Texas, right? I'm going on to Texas. I'm keep telling eight to let's go, man, let's go. But I'm praying that God go open up a way that leave California. You know how hard it is for y'all Californians to move on from the state. Was it hard for you adjusting to live in the South?
Nope. Nope. I mean, because I've lived in Jersey for a while. No, I actually love it. I mean, but I've always had a home here, so um I could always come home. But I love it. I love being away. It's just like when you go away. No, it wasn't hard for me. I think you really see how much you appreciate it when you go away. I think LA loves you. I know. I mean, I'm speaking to you, eight. LA loves you, but man, everywhere I go, man, they be like, I mean, they love MC8, boy. They love
I tell them
you.
all the time. I
They
say, dude,
love you. Like, I mean,
mhm,
LA loves you. Now, don't get me wrong. He's one of our champions. Where LA really loves our boy Eight. But you go other places, they like us. I'm like, yeah, hey,
well, I'm
you
gonna tell you what was real dope.
got a story to tell. They be like, I say, wow, I love it. Yeah,
I'm gonna
you'll
tell you
do
what was
good
real
anywhere
dope.
you go.
When we went down to iHeart, we went down to the Black Effect Festival, right? We was in Atlanta, Georgia. We taped the episode. Shout out to the homie Big Gift from Goody Mob and Cam from out here. He was down there because he lives in Atlanta now. So we was down
Yeah,
there, and all the girls that worked in the office came out because they was like, "Oh, eight is my favorite. I love
right, right,
MC8. All
right.
these women that work in the office, I love MC8. I had to come out here and just see him. I was laughing.
That's
I was
right.
laughing. Yeah, eight is very revered. Eight is very revered. They say you got to always leave your home. Home is where the hate is.
Yeah, I mean, I love California, but California to me, I had to come back to get my respect.
Right.
I felt like it just wasn't always there. I had once I left and people, it just didn't. It just the unity where people would think like you could just pick up the phone and do this and do that. It just wasn't as unified as I would have liked it to be. And even though we loved each other and really didn't hate on each other, it just wasn't. You know, um, it was I'm up, you down, or it wasn't, it was the unity wasn't as solid as it could have been like when you go to the East Coast, you know, or when you go somewhere else, Atlanta, or the unity just wasn't always consistent, I'd like to say. So it's very hard, but um man, go somewhere else, and I mean, don't ever forget about home, but you definitely have to watch your back. But wait, the only thing I have to say about moving to another state is the hookups. You don't get your hookups no more. They think you're gonna pay top dollar for
Exactly.
everything. That is, you'd have to have somebody that know. Yeah.
Yeah, for real, man. For real, man. Well, I'm gonna go watch the show. You said it's on at 5 o'clock, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna watch
Yes,
it right
five
now. So
o'clock, downright delicious for yo.
downright delicious. You know what? We gonna have a link down there for y'all too, for y'all to be able to go do it. Because some of our people that listen to our show, we have some very intelligent people, but then we got some other people. People get lazy now,
Yes.
so you have to
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
just
Put the
you
link
got to
in.
give them a direction. I'm gonna leave a link for y'all down there, and we appreciate you coming on because I know you had a busy day today.
Y'all go check
Yes,
out
I'm
the
not done.
show.
I gotta go. I'm doing Tammy Mack at 5 o'clock,
Okay.
and then I'm doing Grammy weekend, doing some red carpets. But I thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love you, A. And thank you so much. It's a pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to talk to you. Can't wait for you to cook
For
in the
sure,
kitchen. All right.
Yeah, we
for sure.
definitely.
We gonna get busy, man.
I'm
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely coming on. So we got to make that.
Okay. We making it. It's done already. It's done already. I want you in the kitchen with me. It's
Yeah,
done.
baby, it's all good.
so y'all heard it. Y'all heard it here first.
That's
And on
right.
that note, we gone.
I love you guys. I got to
Love to
get
see you. Be
dressed.
safe
The
out there.
call